Lucas Marshall stands as a paradigm of wealth, success, and competitiveness. Known for his unmatched acumen in the world of business, he has built an empire that many can only dream of. Beyond the boardroom, however, lies his real passion, indulging in high-stakes challenges that not only thrill, but also reaffirm his dominance in every arena of life. Lucas is not just a man. He is a modern-day Midas, turning every venture he touches into gold. But for him, the real pleasure comes not from the wealth itself, but from the conquest, the adrenaline rush of putting something significant at risk and emerging victorious. On a night filled with the sparkle of champagne and the glitter of the elite, at a sumptuous high society party, Lucas finds himself caught in the web of a new kind of gamble. The evening air is electric, charged with the chatter and laughter of the affluent, each person there to see and be seen. It is here that Lucas's old friend, Jack, known for his cunning and equally competitive spirit, throws down a gauntlet that catches Lucas's interest. Jack, with a sly smile and a sparkle in his eye, dares Lucas to step out of his comfort zone and take on a challenge unlike any other he has faced before. The challenge laid before Lucas is tantalizing: to marry a woman who starkly contrasts the type he usually prefers. This woman, Khloe Richards, is not just any woman. Known for her independence, fierce will, and strong moral fiber, she's a force to be reckoned with. Khloe's beauty isn't just skin deep. It resonates from her core, from her ability to stand her ground and voice her thoughts without fear. She embodies characteristics that Lucas has never dealt with in his calculated world, where everything and everyone bends to his will. Intrigued and somewhat provoked by Jack's proposal, Lucas sees this not just as a mere bet, but as an opportunity to once again demonstrate his prowess by mastering the challenge of winning over a woman like Khloe. His ego tickled by the stakes, the thrill of the challenge, and $1 million reward. Lucas agrees to the bet. He approaches this marriage with the same strategic mindset he applies to his business dealings. As another transaction, a game to be won. In his world, every relationship, every interaction, is a calculated move on his chessboard of power and influence. Lucas's acceptance of the bet sets in motion a series of events that are meticulously planned. To him, this marriage is merely a temporary arrangement, a 6-month endeavor he needs to endure to prove a point and claim his prize. Little does he know, this decision might just unravel the fabric of his carefully curated life. As he steps into this arrangement, viewing it through the lens of another victory waiting to be claimed, he underestimates the profound transformations that await him. This isn't just a bet. It's a journey that will test Lucas's perceptions of victory, control, and ultimately, of himself. In the bustling heart of New York City, under the soft lighting of an upscale restaurant, Lucas Marshall and Khloe Richards meet for the first time. The ambiance is sophisticated, the air filled with the clink of fine dining, yet the mood at their table is one of tense negotiation rather than romantic encounter. Khloe, fully aware of the wager and its terms, approaches the meeting with a steely resolve. She faces Lucas not as a prospective romantic partner, but as an equal in a business deal. As they sit across from each other, Khloe lays down her conditions. She will maintain her autonomy and independence throughout their arrangement. Her forthrightness is not about gaining an upper hand, but about setting the stage for a relationship based on mutual respect and transparency, challenging Lucas's usual dynamics of control and domination. The wedding that follows is anything but traditional. It is a quick, businesslike affair, devoid of the usual celebrations and sentiments. Lucas, ever the strategist, sees the wedding as a mere formality, a checkpoint in his game of bets. He is confident, almost arrogantly so, about winning this bet, underestimating the profound impact Khloe might have on his life. The ceremony is stark and efficient, attended by a handful of people and characterized by its lack of warmth. A stark contrast to the potential heat of their impending interactions. As the newlyweds move into Lucas's expansive and opulent penthouse overlooking the city skyline, the real game begins. Khloe steps into the lavish home not with awe or submission, but with a cool detachment that unnerves Lucas. She respects the space and luxury, but remains unswayed by it, sticking true to her roots and values. Her presence in the penthouse is like a breeze that refuses to be contained by walls, and her independence permeates the air, challenging Lucas's expectations at every turn. Lucas, accustomed to companions who revel in his wealth and bend to his will, finds Khloe's resilience both baffling and intriguing. Her detachment is not born of disdain for his lifestyle, but from a deep-seated strength and self-sufficiency. She navigates through the sprawling rooms of his penthouse with an ease that denotes her comfort in her own skin, not in the luxuries surrounding her. This phase of their relationship sets a complex dance in motion, with Khloe maintaining her distance, physically and emotionally, while Lucas grapples with a growing realization that this bet might require more from him than he had ever anticipated. As they settle into their new life together, the lines of the bet blur, and Lucas begins to question if winning is really as straightforward as he once thought, or if he's part of a game whose rules he has yet to fully comprehend. In the unfolding drama of their unconventional marriage, Lucas Marshall, the consummate winner, finds himself in unfamiliar territory. Used to the allure of his wealth swaying opinions and shaping desires, he lavishes Khloe with all the trappings of his luxurious lifestyle. Expensive gifts, exclusive events, and spontaneous getaways. Lucas pulls out all the stops, but each gesture crashes against Khloe's unwavering resolve like waves against a cliff. Her consistent refusal to be dazzled by diamonds or swayed by sumptuousness leaves Lucas not only baffled but also quietly desperate. The man who thought he could buy happiness, or at least compliance, faces a jarring truth. Khloe's dignity and independence are not for sale. As days blend into weeks, Lucas's initial irritation gives way to a profound intrigue. Khloe's resilience becomes a puzzle he can't solve, a challenge he can't overcome with his usual tactics. This intrigue soon morphs into a genuine reflection on his own life and values. For the first time, Lucas finds himself admiring someone else's principles over their aesthetics. He watches Khloe navigate their world with a blend of grace and firmness, her integrity intact despite the golden cage he's offered. This unexpected respect begins to gnaw at the very foundation of his motivations for the bet. What began as a game to be won is slowly morphing into a lesson to be learned. Meanwhile, Lucas's attempts to understand and connect with Khloe lead him down paths he hadn't expected to tread. His initial curiosity about her past, fueled by a desire to find leverage, turns into a discovery that shakes him to the core. Digging through layers of her life, he uncovers not just a woman strong-willed and independent by nature, but one who has been sculpted by adversity and loss. Khloe had entered the bet not as a participant in his games, but as a strategist in her own right, driven by a need to secure her future and perhaps confront her past. One evening, as the city's lights flicker like distant stars, Lucas confronts Khloe about her motivations. The penthouse, filled with the echoes of their disparate lives, becomes the stage for a revelation that alters everything. Khloe reveals that her participation in the bet was never about the money nor the challenge. It was about using this unusual opportunity to step into circles where she could affect change, where she could voice her advocacy for those who've been marginalized, those like her before she rose to where she was today. This bet, this marriage was her platform, her stage not just to secure her own future, but to spotlight the inequities that pervade their glittering world. Lucas, standing amidst the opulence he's always taken for granted, feels the ground shift beneath him. The game he played so cavalierly has stakes higher than he imagined, and the person he considered a pawn in his plans is, in fact, the most formidable player he has ever faced. As this truth sinks in, a mix of admiration and shame floods him. Admiration for the woman who stood strong in the face of his superficial world, and shame for how little he understood about the realities that drive people like Khloe. This pivotal night marks a turn not just in their marriage, but in Lucas's personal journey. The competitive tycoon, who thought he knew all the rules of the game, finds himself a novice in a game where the stakes are real and profound. As he grapples with this new reality, Lucas begins to see Khloe not as a bet to be won, but as a partner to be understood and respected. The challenge now is not to win the bet, but to win back his own integrity, to rebuild a connection on the crumbling foundation of a game that turned all too real. As the penthouse sleeps under the watchful gaze of the city, Lucas stands at a crossroads, the glitter of his life dimming in the growing light of dawn that Khloe has brought into his world. As the narrative of Lucas Marshall's transformation unfolds, the ambiance of his luxurious penthouse becomes a reflective space for deep self-assessment. No longer the impervious tycoon, Lucas gazes into the sprawling cityscape, seeing beyond the glittering surface to the emptiness that mirrors his own. The realization hits hard. His life, marked by fleeting conquests and superficial relationships, feels hollow. The competitions and bets that once thrilled him now seem trivial pursuits of a shallow joy. In this phase of introspection, an emotional confrontation becomes inevitable. Khloe, until now composed and distant, finally lays bare the depth of her feelings and the scars left by Lucas's lifestyle. One evening, as the city hums below, she confronts him with the painful impact of his actions. Not just on her life, but on those around him. She speaks of dreams dashed and futures compromised by his ruthless business maneuvers. This revelation pierces the armor Lucas has worn for so long, plunging him into a profound personal crisis. The man accustomed to controlling outcomes finds himself grappling with the chaos of emotional repercussions he had never anticipated. Stung by this confrontation and moved by Khloe's vulnerability, Lucas embarks on a journey of redemption. He recognizes that real change must be demonstrated through actions, not just empty promises. His commitment to transformation begins with small, tangible steps. Lucas starts by severing ties with the superficial elements of his past: extravagant parties, manipulative deals, and hollow relationships. He invests time in charity work, not as a public relations stunt, but as a genuine attempt to contribute positively to the community that Khloe cares so deeply about. Each act of kindness and every moment spent in selfless service gradually begins to reshape Khloe's perception of Lucas. She notices the subtle changes in him, the softening of his gaze, the genuine smiles, and the thoughtful gestures that replace grandiose displays of wealth. As Lucas continues to demonstrate his commitment to change, the walls between them, built from years of mistrust and pain, slowly start to crumble. This new phase of their relationship sees Lucas not just as a man seeking forgiveness, but as one striving to learn and grow from his mistakes. His efforts to change do not go unnoticed by Khloe, who begins to see a future that could possibly include Lucas, not as the man he was, but the man he is becoming. As they navigate this delicate terrain of reconciliation, they both discover that real love is not found in victory or defeat, but in the shared journey of healing and understanding. In the concluding act of their poignant journey, Lucas and Khloe find themselves at a transformative crossroads. Lucas's earnest efforts to alter his worldview and behavior culminate in a moment of tentative forgiveness from Khloe. She recognizes the profound sincerity in his changes, acknowledging that the man who once lived for competition and superficial gains has evolved into someone genuinely striving for personal growth and empathy. Their final conversation, subtle yet profound, marks the end of the bet that had once defined their relationship. With mutual respect and a newfound understanding at the foundation of their bond, they agree to discard the bet entirely, choosing instead to redefine their connection on healthier, more genuine terms. This decision isn't marked by grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but rather a quiet acknowledgement of their shared growth and the potential of a future crafted together. The story closes on a note of hopeful anticipation. Lucas and Khloe, once adversaries caught in a game of challenges and pretenses, now look forward to exploring life as partners who have moved beyond past pretensions into a relationship rooted in real, meaningful connection. It's a future envisioned not through the lens of bets or challenges, but through the simple, powerful lens of shared experiences and mutual respect. Their journey underscores a profound narrative truth: that true change is possible, and love can indeed emerge from the most unexpected transformations.